Oh yeah, welcome back to Tao Tuesday number 4. Today we got 5 verses to cover. We're covering from 14th to and with number 18th. I got my notes, I got my book, I got light, we got noise because we're outside, so let's just get right to it, right? That which cannot be seen is called invisible. That which cannot be heard is called inaudible. That which cannot be held is called attainable. These three cannot be defined. Therefore, they are merged as one. Each of these three is subtle for description. By intuition, you can see it, hear it, and feel it. Then the unseen, unheard, and untouched are present as one. Its rising brings no dawn, its setting no darkness. It goes on, unnameable, returning into nothingness. Approach it, and there's no beginning. Follow it, and there's no end. You cannot know it, but you can see it, at ease in your own life. Oi! You cannot know it, but you can be it, at ease in your own life. Discovering how things has always been brings us into harmony with the way. So nice. It's actually said, that I know from Dr. Wendaya here, that this 4th verse is said to be the most important verse of scholars, because here we're actually getting a description of that which cannot be seen. We're actually getting a description of the Tao. And it's also very beautiful. Its rising brings no dawn, its setting no darkness, goes on, unnameable, returning into nothingness. Yin and yang, there's thingness and there's nothingness. Now, what I really came to notice, what really stood out for me in this one was, you cannot know it, but you can be it. That reminds me of a poem that I wrote some time ago, which is a poem about, can the known know the knower? That's like the question of the poem. Can the known know the knower? And the answer is no. The known cannot know the knower. And then it's a fun poem that goes on, like, can the known know the knower? No, then who's knowing? Blah, 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 blah. And it gets like crinkled in. It's a really fun poem, but it's also really true. Because what is the known? Like, here's the thing. You cannot know it, but you can be it. I cannot know it. Who is the one knowing? Well, the one knowing is the knower. So there is the knower and there is the known. And when he says you cannot know it, how I interpretate, how I understand it, is that the known cannot know the knower. Because I am identifying with my ego, with my name, with the I, with the big I, with the me, with the body, etc., etc. I'm identifying with this. All of that, by its nature, is known. And I'm identifying with the known. I see the known and I say that known is me. But this is not true. Because if I am the known, then who is knowing? Right? I can analyze my I. I can analyze my behavior. I can analyze who I am. I can analyze Jonathan. And by that nature means that it is known, because you can only analyze that which is known. So there has to be a knower that knows it. And the knower is what we is. That is the essence of who we are. And this is what he's saying. You cannot know it, but you can be it at ease in your own life. Which is a beautiful touch, right? We are at ease when we are with the Tao, when we are one with the Tao. When we finally realize that we are at one with the Tao, then we are very at ease with everything in life. Now then the fun path starts, the fun journey starts of like the spiritual journey of wanting to realize who we are, the journey of wanting to know the knower. And then this is also where my poem goes. Who wants to know? Who is it who wants to know the knower? And then we say, well, I want to know the knower. Well, who is this I who wants to know the knower? Well, the I, which is my identification, and it's known because I can see who I am. So the known wants to know the knower. But can the known know the knower? And the known cannot know the knower. The knower knows, the knower is. And the known is that which is existent, but the knower does not exist. I don't know if it's invisible, untouchable. That which cannot be seen is called invisible. The unseen, unheard, and untouched are present as one. Exactamente, right? Exactamente. So, and then the funny journey of like figuring out who we are, and it's so fun because we are like, because at all times are we the Tao. At all times are we the essence. But because we have falsely identified why everyone in the world, every single human being has done this, I do not know. But then we are falsely identified with our identity being the known. But at all times we are the knower. It's the way I see it, it's a big joke actually. But it's really fun. Now let's continue to the 5th verse. Yeah, this verse is so nice, man. It talks about the ancient masters were profound and subtle. Man, when a master talks about the ancient masters, I'm like, who's that? Who are the ancient masters? My God, I wanna study with them, por favor. The ancient masters were profound and subtle. Their wisdom was unfathomable. There is no way to describe it. One can only describe them vaguely by their appearance. Watchful, like men crossing a winter stream. Alert, like men aware of danger. Simple as uncarved wood. Hollow, like caves. Yielding, like ice about to melt. Amorphous, like muddy water. But the muddiest waters clear as it stilled, and out of that stillness, life arises. He who keeps the Tao does not want to be full, but precisely because he is never full, he can remain like a hidden sprout and does not rush to early ripening. The ancient masters. Who are the ancient masters? I want to know that, but let's get right to it, shall we? This description is beautiful. Watchful like men crossing a winter stream. When you are crossing on ice, and I know this because I'm from Denmark, so we have like when the rivers are with ice, right? And if the ice is thin, you are very aware of each and every step that you're taking. And the reason why you are that, because if the ice is thin, then you're like listening to your steps. And also it's slippery. So you have to be aware of your steps, or else you're going to slip, right? So watchful, like men crossing a winter stream, they are aware of every single step, and every single step is taken carefully. Alert, like men aware of danger. When we are aware of danger, we also all know this, we are aware of so much around us, like what is going on there, something in the bushes, and we are like right away there. Then we have such an awareness of our surroundings, such an awareness of where we are and what is around us. Yeah, awareness of our surroundings. Simple as uncarved wood. Simple as uncarved wood. Now, uncarved wood is like full of potential because it's uncarved, and it's simple because it's nature, so it just is as it is. It's still in its raw form. So they are simple in their way of nature, and they are full with potential of what they can be carved into, right? Hollow like caves, their minds are empty. Yeah, let's continue. Yielding, like ice about to melt. Yielding is like, when we yield, in battle, we yield, we give up, we put down our weapons. And they are yielding like ice about to melt. They're yielding like ice about to melt. So they're melting, they're so relaxed. They're so relaxed that their being is about to melt and become water and flow with everything. So yielding, so forgiving, so kind. Amorphous, like muddy water. Now what does amorphous mean? Amorphous, when I looked it up, means that something that does not have a definable shape. So if you're thinking about muddy water, the mud does not have like a a shape in the water, like a rock has. But it's like the mud is like all over the place. So you cannot define its shape like that. And that's what they mean. So amorphous, like muddy water, it's like they don't have a shape. They're like flowing. I don't know, they're not, you could see it in their beliefs maybe, I don't know. They're not bound to one shape. They are allowing, they are transforming, they are going with the flow. They're going with the flow of how what is going to be and what's going to come. He who keeps the Tao, but the muddiest water clears as it is stilled, and out of that stillness, life arises. This reminds me of the practice of meditation. Because what is the practice of meditation? It is to still and to calm the mind. And when we still and we calm the mind, all of our emotional mud, all of our traumas, etc., are calmed. And we get more clarity and we get more, life becomes, out of that life arrives, like out of that clarity comes the joy of life. Beautiful. And also their wisdom was unfathomable. Their wisdom is the way they are, right? He does not describe them with what they said. He described them by the way that they are. It's their being that's full of wisdom. Well, that's how it is with masters, of course. All right, we're just jumping right ahead to the 16th verse. Hey man, I wanna give a great shout out to my good friend Alessandro, who has created all of this beautiful music for this episode of Tao Tuesday. You are doing great, man. It is amazing. Thank you very much. There's a link in the description where you can go and see his link, his Instagram and his music. So really worth it. He makes great music. So happy to team up with you, brother. This verse is also very beautiful. They're all very beautiful. Now, this one shares about, let me read it. Become totally empty. Let your heart be at peace. Amidst the rush of worldly comings and goings, observe how endings become beginnings. Things flourish each by each, only to return to the source, to what is and what is to be. To return to the root is to find peace. To find peace is to fulfill one's destiny. To fulfill one's destiny is to be constant. To know the constant is called insight. Not knowing this cycle leads to eternal disaster. Yeah, there we go, right? Knowing the constant gives perspective. This perspective is impartial. Impartiality is the highest nobility. The highest nobility is divine. Being divine, you will be at one with the Tao. Being at one with the Tao is eternal. This way is everlasting, not endangered by physical death. Man, so here it is like, here the path to the one is shared with us. And I love how become totally empty. Become totally empty. That is like, that's something to ask, right? That is something to ask. What does that even mean? Here's my take on it, and it just came to me. What I believe it means, become totally empty. Don't hold anything in your mind. Don't keep anything in your mind. Let go of the name, belief systems, what we like, our dislikes and our likes. Let go of everything. Become totally empty. Because when he writes, become totally empty, he means become totally empty. Like, it's not a metaphor. Yeah, well, don't, it is a metaphor. Don't empty yourself like that, you know? It is a metaphor, but it is a metaphor for what is inside of us, our mind. Become totally empty. No likes, no dislikes, no belief systems, no identification. Let go of all. Let go of all. Now, does this mean let go of thoughts, like stop thinking? I don't know. I heard one who said, and I really liked it, the only time we stop thinking is when we're dead. Because thinking is the function of the mind. The mind thinks. So it's not about stop thinking. It's about, and what is then about? Integrating that part of our subconscious into our conscious so that we just become aware. Because when we are completely empty, that means we are hiding nothing. That's also what it means. We are hiding nothing. Like there's all of our fears of people seeing who we are, there's nothing. We are completely empty. It means no secrets, not secrets for ourselves, right? Secret for ourselves. Knowing ourselves, letting go of all of that emotional poison, becoming totally empty. There's a lot in that, man. Let your heart be at peace. I also like that. Let your heart be at peace. It's not about find the peace. He says, let your heart be at peace. Which then he's saying, I am the one who's not letting my heart be at peace. So maybe let it be. I don't know. To return to the root is to find peace. To find peace is to fulfill one's destiny. To fulfill one's destiny is to be constant. To know the constant is called insight. Not knowing the cycle leads to eternal disaster. The meaning of life is to find peace, is to find that everlasting happiness, which is being with the One, being with the Tao. Not knowing the cycle leads to eternal disaster. And my God, just look at the world, and then you see that creation, that expression of exactly, you see the expression of exactly not knowing that cycle. I was walking on the beach the other day and trash everywhere. There were so many tourists here this weekend. There was trash everywhere. The entire beach was filled with trash. And it rained heavily this night. And I knew, because it's rain season now, so I knew that it's going to rain so much tonight and all of that trash is going to flow right into the ocean as it has done all of the other days. And yeah, it rained so heavily and much all night, all morning, and all of that trash now has been swept into the ocean. That for me is a disaster, and not knowing the cycle leads to eternal disaster because people are not aware of that. Like if you're with the Tao, there's no way you're gonna throw trash. It's so disrespectful, and it's so far away. It's so far away from the Tao and the way. Yeah, 17th verse. Let's jump right into it. With the greatest leader above them, people barely know one exists. Next comes one who they love and praise. Next comes one whom they fear. Next comes one whom they despise and defy. When a leader trusts no one trusts him. The great leader speaks little. He never speaks carelessly. He works without self-interest and leaves no trace. When all is finished, the people say, we did it ourselves. That's a leader. My God, and really like, can you imagine doing something so much, work without self-interest and leaves no trace? Being so selfless that you're working with no trace, and when everything is said and done, that those that you help and were leading say, we did it ourselves. Damn, that is invisible service. That is what my master told me about. He told me about invisible service. He told me, let no one witness your service. And just trust that the service will do its thing. But do it invisibly. Invisible service. That is the nobility. That is the practice. Because so quickly we are caught in our self-importance. We are caught up in our self-interest. Like, I want something from this. Look, I did all of this. I also want something. I want to be seen. Like just basic human needs, right? Wanting to be seen. But can we do this so selfless, with so little with no self-interest, that we will leave no trace, that no one will see what we are doing, and everyone will believe they did it themselves, which they did? That is Very, very beautiful. So what is this? What is this part of us that's so ego-centered, that has so much self-interest? What is that? It's really an energy of consuming. It's an energy of like wanting. But what about just surrendering to giving? What about that's also becoming empty? What is it that I'm trying to fill? I'm trying to fill in something inside of me. So what is that? And how do I just give and give and give and give? Maybe that which we are trying to fill in ourselves is the feeling of being with the one. It's the feeling of being home. Now, and also, this one says, greatest leader. A leader can be anything, you know. It doesn't have to be the president of the world. It can also be the father, the mother, the director of something, you know. If you have people working under you, well, then being a great leader for them. A friend, you know, there's plenty of words that leader can be changed to, so we can really put it in our own lives. Now, the 18th verse. When the greatness of the Tao is present, action arises from one's own heart. When the greatness of the Tao is absent, action comes from the rules of kindness and justice. If you need rules to be kind and just, if you act virtuous, this is a sure sign that virtue is absent. Thus, we see great hypocrisy. When a country falls into chaos, official loyalists will appear. Patriotism is born. I love that. Again, talking about like, let's take a look at our own society when the greatness of the Tao is absent. Yeah, look what happens. Look what happens. We are completely destroying our earth. We're completely destroying our relationship with each other. People are killing for money, which is like the least important thing to kill for. But yeah, when the greatness of the Tao is absent, action comes from the rules of kindness and justice. And man, I have to say, this is especially true in the West, in Denmark. It's like we are acting in a certain way because those are the rules of the game, right? Not because it comes from the heart. And I think that's mostly around the entire world, that we are acting in the way that society wants us to act, and not acting in the way of, like, the reason we are not on, this is a good example. I have to declare I have been unfaithful lots of times, unfortunately, in my younger days, not now, in my younger days. And the reason why we are not unfaithful is because it's wrong. Like, those are the rules, it's wrong. But I was like, fuck those rules, like let me do what I want. And then I went out and I did what I wanted. And I have then lived through that and lived through my actions and had to forgive myself for it. And came to like the conclusion that this is hurtful. I am hurting another person and I'm hurting myself. So now my actions of being faithful comes not because that I have to be faithful, but because I want to be faithful. I went out and I tried the other part of being unfaithful, and it's hurtful, it's harmful. And my heart can't bear it anymore. Therefore, thus, being faithful, being true, being noble to one partner is the way of life I can share because it's from my experience, right? So, and the same does religion. Religion says, you can't do this because it's wrong and the Lord will punish you. You can do this because it's right and the Lord will, what's it called? Like, not punish, but like, the Lord will be good for you. The Lord will love you. Oh, look at that. Then my actions are determined on the rules of the game and not from my heart within. It's not from the heart, it is from the rules. We don't kill because it's illegal, right? That's also one. We don't kill because it's illegal. But looking at it from the other way, there is literally nothing in the universe that says you can't kill. You can go out and kill anyone if you want to. But the universe is filled with consequence. Therefore, your actions have consequence. A lot of people is going to be hurt. A lot of people is going to go through that very hard grief. And mostly you, more importantly, like you have killed a person. which is a horrible thing to do, and you will have to go through that karma and that trauma and clean that, which is a huge thing. But living in that way of, I can do what I want, I am free to do what I want, and understanding life from consequences, that my actions have consequences. That's like a free way of living. Now I'm not bound by the rules. Now I am actually free to do whatever I want. And whatever I want is to be kind. It is to go into the yin. It is to clean my mind. It is to merge with the one. It is to be love. It is to be kindness. It is to enjoy. It is to be happy. So that was it for this time. Let's end it here. It's been so long, man. That was it for this time. Thank you for watching. See you next week on Tao Tuesday. And of course, be happy.